Hello everyone. I hope you all are safe and sound and utilizing your time judiciously. Today, we are going to learn a very important chapter of our history, that is the Sultanate period. In this chapter, we are going to learn about various things such as sources from which we get the information about this period or our past. Secondly, we are going to learn about various dynasties which ruled Delhi and the major part of India. And third, we are going to learn about the important administrative actions by the rulers of these dynasties. Okay? Now let's begin this chapter. The period, as you can read from here, the period from 1206 to 1526 is known as the age of Delhi Sultanate. Okay? Now, Delhi was the capital, so the Sultanate is named as Delhi Sultanate. Now, during this period, five dynasties ruled over India. Okay, almost major part of India, not over whole India, but the major part of India. Now, which were these five dynasties? They were Slave dynasty, second was Khalji dynasty, third was Tughlaq dynasty, fourth was Sayyid dynasty, and fourth was Lodi dynasty. Okay, I repeat: slave, that is also known as Mamluk, second Khalji dynasty, third Tughlaq, fourth Sayyid, and fifth is Lodi dynasty. Okay, now there is a trick to remember this. Okay, that is MKT. The trick is MKTSL. Okay, MKTSL. M stand for Mamluk, that is Sayyid, K for Khalji, T for Tughlaq, S for Sayyid, and L for Lodi. Okay. For example, you can learn it in other way also, that is Market Limited. Okay, market. So spelling is market is MARKET. MKT, markets. Okay, special SP, okay, special S and L. Okay, so you can find your own way of learning this. Okay, because in examination generally we ask such question: arrange the following dynasty in order of their rulings. Okay, now we are going to discuss what are the sources and how we get to know about these dynasties. Okay, so we came to know about these dynasties with the help of various sources, and these sources could be wait a second, these sources could be a coin, inscription, monuments. Okay, or the account of travelers. Okay, or the accounts of travelers, or the court chronicles. What are chronicles? Chronicles are the written records of the offices. Okay, in the chronicles we write the daily account of the offices. Okay, now there were two major travelers which came to India during the Sultanate period. They were Ibn Battuta and Marco Polo. They were Ibn Battuta and Marco Polo. Okay, and there were various courtmen such as Ziauddin Burni and Minhajul Siraj. Okay, the documents of these two courtmen also revealed various aspects of the Sultanate period. Now, we are going to discuss the dynasties in details. Okay. Okay. The first dynasty was Slave dynasty. Okay, the first dynasty was Slave dynasty. Now you may be wonder why they are called as Slave dynasty. Okay, the literal meaning of slave is Gulam. Okay, and another word used for slave dynasty is Mamluk dynasty. Okay, Mamluk. So you can read here. The rulers of these dynasties were called slaves or Mamluk Sultan because Mamluk in Arabic words means owned. Okay, owned is a term which is used to denote that something is possessed by someone else. Okay, so Iltutmish and Balban were slaves of the Kutubuddin Aibak, who himself was a slave of Muhammad Ghori. Okay, so read it twice. Iltutmish and Balban were the slaves of Kutubuddin Aibak. Okay, I want you all to go. Wait a second. I want you all to revisit this flow chart. Okay, what does this states? It states that the Kutubuddin Aibak, okay, this Kutubuddin Aibak was the master of Balban and Iltutmish, okay. So, and Kutubuddin Aibak was slave of Muhammad Ghori, okay. I hope it is clear. I want you all to read it twice, this line, okay. I am highlighting these lines. They are Iltutmish and Balbans were the slaves of Kutubuddin Aibak, who was himself a slave of Muhammad Ghori. Okay, I want to write this in hierarchy manner. Okay, that is, first Muhammad Ghori was master of Kutubuddin Aibak, and Kutubuddin Aibak was master of Iltutmish as well as Balban. Okay, about Balban and Iltutmish we will discuss in a while. Okay. So let us come to know about Kutubuddin Aibak. Kutubuddin Aibak was the first ruler of this dynasty. Okay. Muhammad Ghori had left him in a charge of the territory he had conquered in India. After Ghori's death, Kutubuddin Aibak began to rule as independent ruler. Kutubuddin Aibak was kind-hearted and a generous man. He was also called as Lakh Baksh. So the important point you have to remember is Lakh Baksh. Which ruler is also known as Lakh Baksh? Okay, so the answer is Kutubuddin Aibak. Now, I am going to discuss why Kutubuddin Aibak started ruling independently. Okay, so first of all, we have to understand that there is a very large distance, okay, between Delhi and Turkey. Okay, the Kutubuddin Aibak was a Turkish ruler, so it was not possible for one to effectively rule from Turkey to Delhi. Okay, so this is the reason the Kutubuddin Aibak started ruling independently over India. Now, after his death, the Iltutmish became the ruler. Okay. Now, the Iltutmish is considered as the real founder, okay, of the Delhi Sultanate of slave dynasty. Let me highlight this, the real founder. Okay, so who is the real founder of the Sultanate? Is Iltutmish. Okay, I want you all to write the answers which I ask in comment sections. Okay, so I want you all to because this your comment will be marked as your attendance. Okay, so that I get informed that who had watched the video carefully or who has not watched the videos. Okay, so the question is, who was the real founder of Sultanate? I want you all to comment the answer. Okay, answer it in comment section. Now, the second question is, which was the third dynasty of Delhi Sultanate? Okay, I repeat, which was the third dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate? You can pause the video and comment and then resume the video. Okay, so that I can get the attendance and I can get the knowledge and information which are the students who are watching sincerely. Now, Iltutmish has had many sons but considered none of them capable. Okay? So he decided to make his daughter Rajia the Sultan of Delhi. The nobles were unhappy with this choice. Okay? Then, after the death of Iltutmish, they placed one of his son on the throne. Okay? But let me highlight. But Rajia, with the support of the people of the city, became the ruler. Okay. Now, she was the first. Razia Sultan was the first woman to become the Sultanate in Sultan of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, and she was the only one female who ruled over Delhi. Now, रजियाज रिज़ाइन वॉज शॉर्ट एंड फुल ऑफ प्रॉब्लम. ओके, तो हुआ ये कि जो रजिया का जो पीरियड था वो बहुत छोटा था और डेट वॉज फुल ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स. रीज़न वॉज डैट कि जो मेल्स थे वो एक फीमेल के रूल को एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पा रहे थे. ओके, देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ स्टीरियोटाइप्स इन आवर सोसाइटी एंड वन वॉज द डैट कि हम जो हैं वो फीमेल के अंडर काम नहीं कर सकते. ओके, now the nobles, let me highlight it. The nobles opposed her because they hated to taking orders from a woman. They did not like Rajia for taking decision without consulting them. They plotted and deposed her in 1240. Soon after she died. Now, after Razia, there was a king who was Sultan, that was Ghiyasuddin Balban, and you can learn this that Balban was Balwan. Okay, because Balban was the most powerful ruler of the slave dynasty. He was more powerful than Aibak, Iltutmish, Razia. Okay, so let me highlight it. Balban was the most powerful ruler of the slave dynasty. Okay, he had an important role since the reign of Iltutmish. Okay, then Balban reorganized and strengthened the army. Okay, so what did Balban do? Balban reorganized the army. Okay, and make it strengthened. Okay, let me strengthen it. Okay, now, and most important part is here, that is Balban introduced Persian customs such as Sijda and Paibos. Sijda and Paibos, they are Persian customs. For example, Indian custom is Namaste. Okay, in same way there are two Persian customs, that is Sijda and Paibos. In Sijda, the person, one have to sit on his knee, okay, and bow his head to the king. Means राजा के सामने, सुल्तान के सामने जो भी फरियादी होगा या जो भी कोर्टमैन होंगे वो क्या करेंगे, घुटनों पर बैठेंगे और अपना सर झुकाएंगे. ओके, इट वाज सिजदा. एंड पैबोस, पैबोस वाज द प्रोसेस or action in which one have to kiss the feet of the ruler. Okay, now, so I repeat about the Balban. Balban was the most strong, powerful leader of the slave dynasty, that was Mamluk dynasty, also called Mamluk dynasty. Okay, he reorganized army. Balban reorganized army, and other important point is that he introduced Persian customs such as Sijda and Paibos. I repeat, Balban ने आर्मी में रिफॉर्म किया. सेकेंडली पर्शियन कस्टम्स को इंट्रोड्यूस किया कोर्ट में, डेट वाज सिजदा एंड पैबोस. नाउ ही आफ्टर दिस his successors were weak and they were defeated by the Khaljis. Okay. Now, the most important ruler of the Khalji is Alauddin Khalji. Okay, he was not the founder of the Khalji dynasty, but he was the most powerful ruler of this dynasty. Okay. He aimed at expansion of his empire. Khalji tried to expand his empire. Okay. Now, he introduced various economic reforms. Okay. Alauddin Khalji introduced various economic reforms. Okay. Now remember first again. First, Balban introduced reforms in army. Alauddin Khalji introduced economic reforms. These are important questions. Okay. Now third. Here it is. Alauddin Khalji also introduced market control policy. Okay. Alauddin Khalji also introduced a market control policy. What is it? Okay. In this policy, he lowered the prices of all the essential items such as food grains, sugar, cooking oil, clothes, etc. Okay. He also appointed special officials to check the shop owners, okay, who caused charging even a little extra or cheating with weight was punished severely. Okay, why this idea was introduced? Okay, the idea of market control policy was introduced. The idea of market control policy was introduced to making goods cheaper. Okay, and so that the Alauddin Khalji can pay his soldiers low salary. Okay, if he pay low salary, then he will definitely able to manage a large standing army. Okay, for example, if I pay a man 10,000, okay, and I pay, then if I reduce their salary to half, that is 5,000, then I can have 2 employees working at 5,000. Okay, so this is the simple reason. Just to maintain a large army, he introduced the market control policy. Now, as he also introduced reforms in army, okay, but it was little different from that of Balban. Okay, he introduced 2 systems, that is, one is Dag and second is Chehra. In Dag, that is branding, he started branding horses to prevent the submission of the good horses by inferior ones. Okay, now आप इसे ऐसे समझो कि इस प्रोसेस में घोड़े के बॉडी के ऊपर हम एक दाग लगा देते थे। किसी भी जलते हुए चीज़ से हम उसके बॉडी के ऊपर एक निशान बना देते थे। अब ये निशान तुम किसी और के ऊपर मिटा नहीं सकते हो, ठीक है। इससे होता क्या था कि जो बेस्ट क्वालिटीज़ ऑफ हॉर्स होते थे उन्हें हम चेंज नहीं कर पाते थे। मतलब ये कि पहले ज़माने में होता क्या था, जब दाग का सिस्टम नहीं था, ठीक है, तो होता क्या था कि लोग बढ़िया क्वालिटी ऑफ हॉर्सेस को अपने घर ले जाते और अपनी लो क्वालिटी ऑफ हॉर्सेस को आर्मी में इंट्रोड्यूस कर देते थे। तो इस प्रॉब्लम को निपटने के लिए उन्होंने क्या किया कि परमानेंट एक दाग बॉडी हॉर्सेस के बॉडी के ऊपर बनाना स्टार्ट कर दिया। ओके, और वो ऐसे वो दाग होते थे जो हट नहीं सकते थे क्योंकि दे आर बर्न्ड। ओके, जला के लगाए जाते थे ये दाग, ये वो दाग होते थे। नाउ आफ्टर अलाउद्दीन्स डेथ द वॉर ऑफ सक्सेशन ब्रोक आउट। अलाउद्दीन खलजी के डेथ के बाद वॉर ऑफ सक्सेशन मतलब इनके बच्चों में और इनके परिवार में झगड़ा स्टार्ट हो गया कि कौन राजा बनेगा। ओके, बट एज वी नो इनके बाद जो राजा आए वो बहुत ही कमज़ोर थे, तो हमारे पास थर्ड डायनेस्टी आ गई, डेट वॉज तुगलक डायनेस्टी. T4 थर्ड, T4 तुगलक डायनेस्टी. सो द तुगलक डायनेस्टी रूल्ड फॉर क्लोज 100 ईयर्स. ओके, सो जो तुगलक डायनेस्टी थे उसने लगभग 100 सालों तक राज किया दिल्ली और इसके आसपास के इलाकों में, लगभग पूरे भारत पे. ओके, नाउ Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was the first ruler of the Tughlaq dynasty. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was the first ruler. Now, second, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Bin Tughlaq. Okay, let me come here. Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was very powerful ruler. Ibn Battuta. Okay, Ibn Battuta gave a lot of information about his reign. He tells us about the Sultan had great ideas and his plan failed because of the common people could not understand them. Okay, now होता क्या है कि जो इब्न बतूता है, जो हमने अभी सबसे पहले पार्ट में सुना था स्टार्टिंग ऑफ वीडियो कि इब्न बतूता वाज अ ट्रैवलर. ओके, और इन्होंने हमें इंफॉर्मेशन दी है मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक के बारे में. सो यहाँ पे आप इसको ऐसे याद कर सकते हो. There are 3 letter IBN, there are 3 letter BIN. So BIN अगर हम इसको रिप्लेस करें तो क्या बन जाएगा IBN. So Ibn Battuta was the traveler in the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay, now जो मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक थे इन्होंने कई सारे इम्पॉर्टेंट चेंजेस लाए एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के अंदर, बट ये फेल हो गए. रीज़न ये था कि जो इन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया उसका टाइमिंग गलत था, और कुछ चीज़ें जो सब्जेक्ट्स थे, जो देश के लोग थे, वो समझ नहीं पाए. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड टैक्सेशन इन दोआब. उन्होंने दोआब में टैक्स बढ़ाया, टैक्स लगाया, बट प्रॉब्लम ये हुई कि जब इन्होंने टैक्स लगाया तो वहाँ पे क्या था, सीवियर फेमाइन था, मतलब वहाँ पे सूखा अकाल पड़ा हुआ था. सो इट वाज द रीज़न ये जो टैक्स वाला सिस्टम था ये फेल हो गया. देन ही शिफ्टेड कैपिटल. इन्होंने अपना क्या किया, कैपिटल बदल दिया. फ्रॉम दिल्ली टू ये गए देवगिरी, जिसको इन्होंने नाम दिया दौलताबाद. बट यहाँ पे भी दिक्कत हो गई. दिक्कत क्या थी, दिक्कत ये थी कि इतने बड़े लेवल पे पूरे शहर को एक शहर से दूसरे जगह लेके जाना was not an easy task. Okay, so here are the reason. The Sultan felt that there would be and what was the reason. पहले हम रीज़न डिस्कस कर लेते हैं, क्या रीज़न थे कि ये कैपिटल चेंज करना चाहते थे. सो क्या रीज़न थे जिसके वजह से ये चेंज करना चाहते थे कैपिटल को. तो फर्स्ट रीज़न वाज डैट कि उन्होंने सोचा कि दौलताबाद से ज़्यादा इजी होगा अपने देश को, मतलब अपने एम्पायर को रूल करना. सेकेंडली, मंगोल वर अ कांस्टेंट थ्रेट टू दिल्ली. दौलताबाद वाज सेफ फ्रॉम मंगोल अटैक. ओके, तो जो दिल्ली था उस पर कंटिन्यूसली मंगोल से हमला होता था. मंगोल इज़ अ कंट्री अबाउट चाइना, डेट इज़ मंगोलिया. अबाउट चाइना मीन इन द नॉर्थ ऑफ चाइना. ओके, तो मंगोलिया इज़ अ कंट्री, और वहाँ के जो राजा थे वो हमारे ऊपर अटैक करते थे. और आप इस बात को ये भी समझें कि जो टर्की थी, टर्की के जो ये सारे राजा थे हमारे सुल्तान वगैरह, ये सारे भी क्या थे, टर्की से थे. टर्की इज़ वेरी फार फ्रॉम दिल्ली. सो काफ़ी दूर दूर से लोग हमारे दिल्ली पे अटैक करते थे. और ये रीज़न थे. बट होता क्या है कि इतने बड़े लेवल पे लोगों को मूव कराना इजी नहीं था. ओके, सो राजा को एहसास हो गया कि इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल टू मूव सच अ लार्ज पीपल फ्रॉम दिल्ली टू दौलताबाद. सो उसने अपने प्लान को वापस ले लिया. सो ही शिफ्टेड हिज कैपिटल टू दिल्ली. ओके, नाउ इन्होंने एक और काम किया था मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक ने, डेट वाज अ टोकन करेंसी इंट्रोड्यूस किया था. ही इंट्रोड्यूस द टोकन करेंसी. टोकन करेंसी क्या होता है? टोकन करेंसी वो होता है इसमें जो हम कुछ ऐसी चीज़ों से पैसे बनाते हैं जिसकी वैल्यू एक्चुअल वैल्यू से कम हो। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल हम ऐसा करेंगे कि हम सोने चांदी को, ठीक है, वैल्यू सोने की मान लेंगे। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल 1 ग्राम चांदी को हम एज अ 1 ग्राम गोल्ड ट्रीट करेंगे। ओके, सो टोकन करेंसी ऐसी होती है। दूसरी करेंसी होती है फिएट करेंसी। इसके बारे में आप इकोनॉमिक्स में पढ़ोगे ज़्यादा अच्छे से। फिएट करेंसी वो होती है जिसमें जिसको हम पैसा मानते हैं उसकी खुद की वैल्यू बहुत ही कम या फिर जीरो होती है। फॉर एग्जांपल पेपर, जो हमारे देश में आजकल नोट चलते हैं, डैट इज़ मेड अप ऑफ पेपर। और पेपर की वैल्यू ऑलमोस्ट क्या होती है, 1 रुपये 2 रुपये या जीरो। बट अगर उसके ऊपर 1000 रुपये लिखा हुआ है तो उसकी वैल्यू क्या है, 1000 है। ओके, वो अलग बात है, आज के डेट में 1000 के नोट नहीं चल रहे। बट सो दो तरह की करेंसी होती है, वन इज़ टोकन करेंसी एंड अदर इज़ फिएट करेंसी। और भी टाइप्स होते हैं, उसे हम बाद में आप पढ़ोगे इन सीनियर क्लासेस। नाउ मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक ने क्या किया कि देयर वाज अ शॉर्टेज ऑफ सिल्वर ड्यूरिंग हिज पीरियड, so the sultan decided to mint coins of brass and copper for day to use. Okay, and these coins have the same values as pure silver coins. मतलब इन्होंने क्या किया, इन्होंने कहा कि ब्रास से तुम बना दो सिक्के और उन सिक्कों की वैल्यू हो जाएगी सिल्वर जितनी अगर तुम दुकान पे जाओगे तो। ये अच्छा आइडिया था, बट द ब्रास वॉज ईजली अवेलेबल, तो लोगों ने घर पे ही सिक्के बनाने चालू कर दिए। ओके, अब सरकार ऐसे कह दे कि तुम नोट कागज़ पे 100 रुपये लिखो, उसकी वैल्यू 100 हो जाएगी, तो क्या होगा? आफ्टर ऑल सबके पास बहुत पैसे हो जाएंगे। ओके, सो इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ टोकन करेंसी वाज फेल्ड। तो जो टोकन करेंसी का इंट्रोडक्शन था वो भी फेल हो गया इनका। बट ये सारे आइडियाज़ उस ज़माने में भले फेल हो गए, बट आज की डेट में ये सारी की सारी चीज़ें अप्लाई होती हैं और हम देखते हैं कि ये सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं। तो ही वॉज अ मैन विद अ विजन। ओके, तो इसके आइडियाज़ ग्रेट थे। नाउ इनके बाद आते हैं फिरोज शाह तुगलक। द नेक्स्ट रूलर, इंपॉर्टेंट रूलर इज फिरोज शाह तुगलक। ओके, लेट मी, फिरोज शाह तुगलक, ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड द इक्ता सिस्टम। ओके, फिरोज शाह तुगलक ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया इक्ता सिस्टम। व्हाट वाज इक्ता सिस्टम? इक्ता सिस्टम वाज अ सिस्टम इन विच a land was given to a man by the sultan. In return, the man have to pay taxes to the sultan. That was the इक्ता सिस्टम। ओके, इक्ता सिस्टम में होता क्या था कि राजा किसी भी इंसान को कुछ ज़मीन दे देगा, कुछ नहीं, बहुत बड़ी ज़मीन देता था, और उसके बदले में उस इंसान को, राजा को टैक्स देने पड़ते थे। बट ये राजा उनसे कभी भी ज़मीन ले सकता था और किसी को भी दे सकता था। कोई ऐसा नहीं था कि जो फादर को ज़मीन है वो उसके डॉटर को या फिर उसके सन को मिलेगा। बट जो फिरोज शाह तुगलक थे, इन्होंने क्या किया कि इसे हेरिडेटरी बना दिया। हेरिडेटरी मतलब क्या था कि जो इक्ता जिस आदमी के पास है, अब वो ज़मीन उसके बेटे के पास चली जाएगी, फिर उसके बेटे के पास, और फिर ऐसे चली जाएगी। सो द फिरोज शाह तुगलक made Ikta system hereditary. Okay, only point important for the Firoz Shah Tughlaq is that he made the Ikta system hereditary. Now now we have the last dynasty, second last dynasty, that is Sayyid dynasty. It was very short dynasty and ruled by only 4 kings. Okay, Sayyid Sultan ruled for a very brief period of time. There were 4 kings. Okay, they did nothing important, so we can avoid them. Okay, now come to the last dynasty, that is Lodi dynasty. Okay, until this period all the rulers of the sultanate were Turkish origin. Okay, बाकी जो 4 डायनेस्टीज थी ये सारे टर्की से थे, एंड द लोधी वर अफगान. ओके, ये अफगानिस्तान से थे. ओके, द फाउंडर वाज बहलूल लोधी. सो लोधी डायनेस्टी के फाउंडर थे बहलूल लोधी. नाउ सेकेंड वाज सिकंदर लोधी. ही वॉज द मोस्ट पावरफुल रूलर ऑफ द Sikandar Lodi dynasty. Okay, he founded the city of Agra and made it is his capital. Okay, उन्होंने क्या किया, आगरा को अपनी राजधानी बनाई. Last was Ibrahim Lodi, and the Battle of Panipat was fought between Ibrahim Lodi and Babur. Okay, Babur defeated the Ibrahim Lodi, and in this way the Delhi Sultanate came to an end. Okay, and इसके बाद बाबर ने जो डायनेस्टी बनाई, that was Mughal dynasty. Okay, which you will learn in chapter number 5. Now there are some questions, I want you all to answer them. First, name the father of Razia Sultan. I want you all to write it in comment section कि रजिया सुल्तान के पिताजी का नाम क्या था. Second, who introduced token currency? Second question, who introduced token currency? Question number 3, write the names of all the 5 dynasties. Write the name of all 5 dynasties. Now question number 4, that is who introduced the system of Dag and Chehra? Okay, if there is any doubt you can ask me. I hope ये वीडियो आपको समझ आई हो, and thanks for watching.